Hello and good morning. Now, welcome to the most energetic start to your day. We are thrilled to be your host this exciting Thursday.
Absolutely. Welcome to a Thursday morning, and that's
Yes, sir.
what you get for watching. Now you're trapped with us. I'm joking.
Wow.
I saw that on
What
something
was
I was watching
that?
on Instagram this morning. I apologize. But you guys are trapped still. Welcome, Thursday edition here. The brand new Friday, like we like to say. We are here to bring you the ultimate television breakfast show that's packed with fun, entertainment, and valuable information that you guys need.
We know how important it is to start your day on a positive note. So that's why we're here. We do what we can to fill your mornings with laughter, inspiration, and so much more.
Especially inspiration. Absolutely, Titi. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now we have.
I know you're inspired by me, Mazino.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I inspire you.
Oh,
But someone that inspires me, though.
it's myself. Thank you.
Mr. Mexicano. Hey, Mr.
This is how he does it.
Yes, sir,
Because I know where you
let's go.
stole that from. Mike, how you doing, man?
Wow. Mike, you're an inspiration. What?
In any case, whatever, man. It's good to have you here, along with everybody else who's joining this morning. Thank you very much. If you're looking forward to the fascinating interviews and mouth-watering cooking segment that we have, well, you've come to the right place. We're going to be updating you on everything as we go along.
Yeah, of course. Now, Thursdays are usually artsy, you know, but whether it's a famous celebrity, someone inspiring, an expert, you know, whatever it is, they have their own unique perspective,
Yeah,
their own
indeed,
stories, and that makes great discussion.
Absolutely, and that's why you're here. It's, of course, the best show to entertain you for a grand Thursday morning. Mr. Mike, are you back with us now, Mike?
Yeah. So
There you
talking
are.
about
Okay.
Auntie should inspire herself. Or
What?
Use your inspiration. Inspire yourself, Jare. After like
Yeah.
I said, because of this person, this is my role model, my inspiration. Or Ben in this life, you are your own.
There's a big
Inspire
billboard.
yourself.
There's a big billboard I saw someplace. I can't remember if it was on Instagram or if it was a literal billboard that says, "We've got no inspiration for you today. If you can't, if you can't feel inspired, it's okay to give up once in a while." I don't know about that.
Once in a while,
I
giving
always
up.
tell people that, you definitely, people talk about it as though it's haram in some way. You have to give up some things to make some other things work.
Ah, when
Life
you
is
put
about
it like
knowing
that.
when and what to give up on. You definitely have to give up in
Listen.
some cases.
Mike, inadvertently, you have just become inspirational, even
Yes,
if you were
sir.
reluctant in the first place.
Should we sing the song again? Should we sing
Go
it?
ahead.
Mr. Mexicano.
I'm not going to do my part.
Let's go. This is how he does it. Hey.
Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titila Oyinso. You can, of course, catch the show live on GOTV. You'll find us on channel 16 or UHF channel 49.
And you can also stream the show live. TVCentertainment.tv is where to find it on YouTube and, of course, Facebook at TVC Connect.
If you don't have the app yet on any of your devices, go download it now. It's on iOS or Android.
Yes, indeed. Now, carry us with you everywhere you go when you do that. Please, thank you very much. Let's let you guys know what we've got coming your way. What do we have?
All right. Yeah, it's Thursday,
Welcome,
but
Thursday
it was a
edition
very
here.
long Wednesday for a lot of people yesterday.
A lot of Nigerians, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Because we were all in front of our screens watching the law take its course, you know? And so my question, Mike Mazin, is did you stay awake for the whole session?
Well, I didn't follow on television. I followed print
Online?
and social media and everything. So that was a good break for me. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say I was on TV watching, but
here,
I can understand why a lot of people would have dozed off.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing the people at
Of
the
course,
sessions.
not at the
I'm not
sessions,
excusing
but-
them, but there's a lot that went into that, you know.
Can be cumbersome and, it can...
Very extensive. All the jargon you have to listen to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can drift off wondering, what does that word mean again?
And then
If you're like me, you're researching those words and everything.
Yeah.
All. But eventually we had an outcome, a peaceful outcome, and that's the lesson to be taken from it all.
But I
yeah.
honestly had to say that those who stayed all the way to the end, especially right there at the
Until
session,
nighttime.
it was a long one.
It was.
It went up until night?
Yeah, 10 p.m.
Whoa.
10 p.m.
Like you said, I was just following online and all of that, so I wasn't watching live and all of that. But for those that were there, and there were very many images of people sleeping and all of that. I like Mazino said, they can be excuses. It is not that we're saying that, okay, it is allowed, but it can be excused in some way, you know, when you have to stay so long, especially in one spot, you're not moving around. Your body you know, there's
rest, so-
is at rest. You know, kinetic energy also, you're just calm and all that. It can really be.
Well, scientifically proven that if you stay still without moving for longer than 8 minutes up until 10 minutes, you will fall asleep.
8 minutes?
8 minutes to 10 minutes
But see, funny
is...
thing, you can be in that place and sleep comes easily, but you go home and then there's time to sleep and you
And it doesn't come. That happens.
Sleep doesn't come.
But yeah, it was a really interesting session. We will, of course, be having the news update to give you more information about what happened yesterday, in case you were under a rock. But we won't have rocks falling from the sky.
Oh, dear.
Find out what the
That's hail. We don't have hail here,
No, we
Titi.
don't.
No. Weather.
I am Mike, Mr. Keno. It's the news on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, the victory of President Bola Tinubu has been affirmed by the Presidential Petition Election Court last night. The Presidential Election Petition Court delivered its judgment on the petitions brought before it by the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and the Allied People's Movement, challenging the victory of the ruling APC at the last presidential election. We have all the details in this report.
Exactly 100 days in office of President Bola Tinubu, the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in the nation's capital in Abuja has affirmed the election of President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress. Some landmark decisions have been made in this judgment. The Presidential Election Court dismisses APM, Labour Party, and PDP's petition for lack of merit. The court decided that the issue of nomination of Kashim Shettima is a pre-election matter and ought to have been ventilated at the Federal High Court. The issue of non-qualification and disqualification of a candidate is a pre-election matter. Election, when concluded and result declared, cannot be questioned under the provision of Section 131 of the Constitution on issue of non-qualification or disqualification. The petitioner ought to have filed a case before the Federal High Court within 14 days from the day the cause of action arose. Section 285, subsection 14c, doesn't allow members of any political party to challenge the nomination of a candidate of another political party. The petitioner lacks the local standing to institute the petition. On President Tinubu's U.S. charges, Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi failed to prove that President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress was convicted for money laundering in the United States. However, the tribunal ruled that no criminal charges was filed against Tinubu in the U.S. and that the APC candidate did not go through a criminal charge in America. On the 25% vote in Abuja, the tribunal also dismissed Obi and LP's petition on 25% vote of Tinubu in the Federal Capital Territory, saying Abuja is like any other state. The tribunal says FCT has no special status, describes interpretation of Section 134, subsection 2b as fallacious. On IRF, INEC is at liberty to prescribe the manner which election results should be collated. INEC is not mandated to electronically transmit or transfer election results. The glitches experienced during the upload of the result to IRF portal was not a plot to temper or manipulate the result as alleged by the petitioner. The petitioner failed to prove that it was a case of manipulation by INEC. The glitches are not on ground to challenge the outcome of an election in view of Section 134, subsection 1b of the Electoral Act. On overvoting, Labour Party was unable to prove claims of overvoting in the presidential election. The petitioner failed to establish any allegation of overvoting or voter suppression, the court ruled. PDP fails to give names of polling units affected by overvoting in Kogi State. The tribunal rules allegations of result manipulation in Lagos are vague.
All your mandate, Bola, all your mandate, Bola, all your mandate,
Meanwhile, the president has assured Nigerians of his renewed and energized focus on delivering his vision of a unified, peaceful, and prosperous nation, following the judgment by the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, said President Tinubu welcomes the judgment of the tribunal with an intense sense of solemn responsibility and preparedness to serve all Nigerians irrespective of political persuasions, faiths, and tribal identities. The president also recognizes the diligence and undoubted thoroughness and professionalism of the five-member bench led by Justice Haruna Samani in interpreting the law. The president asks his challengers to inspire their supporters in the trust that the spirit of patriotism will now and forever be elevated above partisan considerations. President Tinubu thanks Nigerians for the mandate given to him to serve the country while promising to meet and exceed expectations.
It's been a very, very strong and emotional journey for all of us, struggling for democracy, truth, and justice for all. Today, we give kudos to the judiciary for their indefeasible commitment to rule of law and to humanity.
Shortly after the court verdict on Labour Party's petitions challenging the electoral victory of President Bola Tinubu of the APC, the Labour Party says it's rejecting the judgment. In a statement, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, said justice was not served in the petitions of the party against the APC and President Tinubu. He also said the Labour Party will make its next move known upon consultation with its...
What's up and about? Morning again, lady, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Kids are resuming for school, or some of them are.
Well, they've already resumed.
Have they?
Yeah, well,
Not all
a
of
lot
them.
have.
Yeah, okay.
A lot have.
There was a video that we were seeing this morning, and it was from China. And apparently the Chinese are way ahead of everybody. Only this time I'm a bit concerned. Because this video was showing kids in school being monitored by AI regarding their awareness, how conscious they were, how aware they were to what they were being taught. And it'll actually report back this device, which they were wearing, will actually report back to the teachers who has a computer in front of her to monitor and see who's paying attention, who's not paying attention, who's doing more work, who's doing... It's monitoring their activities, using their facial expressions, and how much time they spend looking at their books and all of that. And that also sends signals to their parents at home.
Parents at home. So the question was...
I thought, you're trying for effectivity to make sure that kids are learning and everything while they're not, while you can't monitor all of them at the same time. However, I thought it was disturbing because that takes away the naturalness of kids to wonder mentally. I think that has there must be some adverse effects to them mentally. I don't know.
Okay. So from time, as a parent myself, one of the worries I had was that if I have my kids in a classroom and there are too many other kids, the teacher won't have time for them specifically. If they have a question, there are 10, 15 other kids that are trying to get this teacher's attention. What if your child just doesn't actually have that, confidence to actually keep asking?
Too many for you?
So, what?
What is
too many? Too many for me is more than 15 children in a class. Because I was in a secondary school where we were 90 in an arm.
Oh, jeez.
Each arm.
Exactly. So we grew up that way. You had just one E to F.
Just one A alone, we have like 47 people.
But that's the thing. I know there were some things I didn't actually understand.
Because you don't think that you had enough attention from the teachers.
But with this device that they put on these kids' heads, like it's like a little, like some headphones kind of thing, you could actually see if this child actually understands what the teacher was saying. And the teacher could actually see it like, oh, red flag, red, as in it'll beep red or whatever, show red whenever this child is like lost in space. You have the opportunity to get that child back on the same page with you as a teacher. So
I don't know, Mike. What did you think, Mike?
Technology, though.
It's good. In a lot of ways, it is forward thinking. But I feel it's a bit invasive.
Exactly the word I couldn't find.
It's a bit invasive in the sense that people will wonder. I mean, that's the joy of humanity. That's especially when they're kids. You see,
Especially so.
But you see, there's something we need to put, context is very important in this case.
Yeah.
Who are these kids? What school is this? Were they picked for a particular purpose? Are they being raised for a particular thing? Those are things we need to ask. Because, you see, these people understand that. Someone said that if you judge a fish by how well it can climb, you would be...
Always
Not every kid is scholastic. The best, when it comes to understanding, the best, would I say, are in the US, where you have colleges of sports.
Yeah.
Whereby
Yeah.
the sports is the focus, but then they understand that academics are important.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say that context. And these kids, have they been, have they received them and know that these
So,
are
so with
special
technology
set
like this, you
of
can do
kids.
that. With technology like this, you can actually figure out who is more arts inclined, who is more science inclined.
Do you think you'd
who
have done any
knows
better
numbers.
if you were let to play more?
If I was allowed to do sports, maybe I would.
You think
I would
you'd have
yes,
fed better?
I probably
Mike,
yes.
what do you think you'd have done better?
I know. I think my school was quite well. We didn't have too much options, so I don't know.
Yeah, we
I don't
can't
think that
say-
you lost
we
out on
can't
anything.
say-
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot that we lost out on, but really
Because
don't
we know the options were not available to
Yes,
us.
music for one.
Yeah.
Is something that
Oh,
I
but
think
I was
that-
okay. So I was available. I know I did quite, but then it was some sort of a pariah for the kids because of that music.
Yeah.
That
generation.
So, but I was in a primary school where music was there. There was sports, but it wasn't like. It wasn't like something that you should focus on. It was extracurricular.
Exactly.
So it was not part of the curriculum.
Exactly.
Now that's what colleges give you there. That the sport is the curriculum. So it's not you don't term it as extra curricular. That means that
is
it
part
is
of the
an
curriculum.
addendum. That's not the main.
I
Now
think
look
if I
at
was
the-
allowed to actually express myself more artistically,
Yeah.
I think I would have preferred that. I would have fared better if you ask me. Quite
So,
frankly.
so there are some teachers from let's say a decade ago, maybe even 5 years ago, who will be like, "Oh, this child deserves double promotion." What parameters are you using to say this child shouldn't be in
Academics.
primary 2 and primary? Is it
Strictly
by the
academics.
scores in the exam?
by the scores.
Are you sure that someone didn't help them with that homework at home?
So is this
Are
why
you
you're-
sure that they didn't cheat in the exam? Are you sure that they actually understood what you were saying as a teacher fully before you say, "Oh, not primary 2, go to primary 4"? Like, and then this child is probably missing out on so many other things that they could have learned. I'm just
I
thinking.
know, I understand.
Technology-wise.
It's valid. Just understand.
Now check this out. Now this is actually a video of the instance we're talking about. Now look at what they're wearing.
Okay.
It's on their heads, and it sends back signals to their teachers and also their parents. First of all, that's cumbersome, wearing that all day. Please, I beg. Secondly, I can't imagine. There's something called helicopter parenting. This is taking it to a totally different level. I think those downtimes the kids have when their minds wander actually are very, very essential. It helps them to be able to put other things together. I mean, inventions have come off of just simply playing or simply wandering in thought. You know, gravity, for instance, was one thing that was discovered because Newton decided to take a nap under a tree. You know, so
I hear you. I hear you.
now there is also another application to this AI instance where they use it to actually monitor people's contribution to work.
Oh, contribution.
So when you clock into work, AI identifies you, takes your facial expression and everything, notes how many coffee breaks you have, how many downtime you have, how much downtime you have, how much time you are clicking away at the computer, and it actually sends this back to your
So
boss.
imagine people that are clicking at the computer. Maybe they have one something that they're clicking.
It monitors the sites
that
you're
person,
on,
that
monitors
person.
everything. In that regard, maybe I'll allow it. But for kids, I think let kids be kids.
So I just want to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe these are prodigies. These are just special
Perhaps
children.
they are.
And
Yeah.
when
True,
you do that,
true.
you see somebody put it in a kind of slight. I remember the first place I saw someone was trying to slight African children and said how African children are raised. We had different places where we see you see African children are raised more. Should I say, through the religious part, you see a small kid and you go, oh, this kid is, man of God.
Yeah.
But those people are being raised to solve world problems. So I'm just trying to say that, look, when you find the place where the kid will, you know.
It's funny.
So this is what
you would say. But it's funny when you say this because last week I don't know if you were here with us on this day as well. We're talking about the schools. I think I can't remember what Nigerian school, university that was stopping students from expressing themselves in a certain kind of way. So they had band tattoos, short crop dresses, this and that, and I thought that was a bit too much. I think that those expressions are actually quite wholesome for their upbuilding.
So if you have Ayasta expression in yourself now.
See, let them let them be expressing themselves.
I want to backtrack just a little. Why? Because we need to acknowledge the fact that our kids here in Africa are going to be competing on the world stage with kids monitored and tailored like this.
That's it.
So what are we doing
May
now
I add
to
something?
Help our kids acclimatize
No, hang on.
to the real world, the world that is out
Do
there
I
now?
want them to? These kids that are being monitored and raised like this are being raised devoid of emotion.
They do no. Come
I'm
on.
telling you.
Come
Now,
on.
there is a study that also tells that
it
Asian
does.
kids of a specific...
Void of emotion.
I'll tell you this. Do you know why Asians
emotion-
can't... Have you ever seen there's a thing about Asians are unable to use their brows, and this is because in their culture, you are not supposed to show emotion. So they've grown up not being able to express themselves, and there's no need to use my brows in that case, because your brows are mostly responsible for actually expressing your emotions. Whether you're surprised, they lift up. If you're angry, they squirrel together.
It's part of the Japanese or
So when you
or
take out these
Asian-
emotions,
no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
stuff
emotions.
he's talking about.
Yeah.
When you talk about emotions, I mean, when you look at the samurai way,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the whole stoic.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's why they're world leaders.
I don't
guys.
want my kid to be without emotion. I want my kid to come home and say, "Daddy, I love you," and be able to
Yeah,
express
and then
that.
ask you
There's
for
a lot
pocket
that this
money.
guy-
Hey, that's part of life.
These kids are probably earning money by the age 12. You know what?
Kids should be kids. I
Let's
think.
move on. Let's hear your thoughts on this. Please give us your thoughts with the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. Let's know what you think. See you after this break.
Thank you for joining us and welcome. It's time to tell you what you might be expecting to see inside of the dailies as you pick one up. We're going to be doing the review for the daily headlines. And of course, I have Mr. Mike Misikeno in the studio here with me. Thank you for joining, Mike. So, Mike, let's start with the major headlines for the newspapers. Let's start with the Daily Trust this morning, and we've got these headlines here. Why we dismissed the Atiku Obi cases by the tribunal. Join me in National Building. Tinubu tells opposition PDP-LP reject verdict. APC hails judgment. Democracy, people have won, says Buhari, and judgments difficult to fault. Yadudu. INEC fought petitions to stand still, says Adigburua. There's plenty more on that, as well as 100 days of courageous leadership on the front page for the Daily Trust as the president marks his 100 days in office. I'm sure we'll still attend to these inside of other dailies this morning. I'm going to move.
That's basically what is there in a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them now. You want to take the
Also
Nation
the Punch,
newspaper?
let me just do the Punch. Atiku Obi plan appeal as election tribunal dashes bid to sack Tinubu. The writers underneath that headline go on to say that Atiku Obi's rigging allegations not proved, e-transmission not compulsory, says PEPT. Of course, we're taking that to the news story and broke it down in detail for you. And it's a victory for democracy. Tinubu APC hail judgment, LP Atiku fume and fault tribunal. Now, this is the Punch. I think what you're still saying is the Daily Trust, but yeah, that's where you had spoken about 100 days of courageous leadership. I don't know if there are some writers you can... Okay, yeah, the Punch now. All right, so that's it. That you can see the article will be plan appeal as election tribunal dashes bid to sack Tinubu. And then we can see a picture story there of the PEPT in session, as you can see there. Underneath that, tribunals, APC loses 2 National Assembly seats, PDP wins 1. Yeah, so apart from the presidential appeal, there were also different appeals at different levels.
Yeah.
From the House of Reps to the Senate, and also even governorship. So, and you know, it went different ways.
Yeah.
Went different ways. 17-year-old boy locks in parents and steals car and others. Oh, wow.
Very sad story, that one.
Sad. No, it is a locks in his parents.
Why would you lock? Why?
Steals.
Think about locking in your parents. I mean, at 17.
At 17. I would love to read this story. You can check it out on page 4 of the Punch. And MMI fire. Oh, you saw the images of the fire at...
yes, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport.
It seemed quite serious.
There are other details when you read the story, but it was told that it was from a tarmac response or fire or something like that that got into the administrative building. There was talk about closing down the airport from last week for renovations, the international airport by the aviation minister.
It has always needed renovation.
It has always needed a renovation. So maybe this might just prompt them to do so. But then again, what the cause was, I think that there needs to be more investigation to find out
into what caused that fire.
What caused that fire. So it doesn't happen again, perhaps. Or if there's any foul play, maybe it's something someone needs to be brought to book about. Yeah. Did you take the ones at the top? Or maybe we should?
Yeah, maybe just, okay, okay, so we can see there that consumers protest as a federal government hikes electricity meter price by 40%.
Yes.
I saw that yesterday. But that's what, I thought the meter was free.
No, the meters were not absolutely free. I remember paying quite a hefty sum.
we
For,
officially,
they're supposed to be
they're
free,
supposed to
but
be free.
eventually they started to
charge for it.
There are other things you have to pay for, installation,
And all of that. So that's what gets the money.
Doesn't make it
up
absolutely free. But now the increase, 40% of what exactly? If they were free from before, so
Yeah.
you're saying 40% of what?
Exactly. So that
question.
means there was a cost, there was a charge. But I know a single phase is up to 80,000 now.
There you go.
Double phase is up to 143,000, and that's what I saw some.
Well, let's hope that this doesn't go up any further. I'm hoping that most people have been meted already. Let's move on now to the Nation newspaper, which I was going to take from before. Tinubu Shatima floor Atiku Obi at tribunal. Tinubu tribunal strikes out petition of PDP, LP, APM candidates. Of course, they were also fined on different counts as well. Shatima, Ganduje, Damagum, Abure, governors, ministers, others in court. President welcomes verdict, seeks support, jubilation in India. So the president is currently in India talking with world leaders, economic leaders, while this is going on. And as well, still put out the information about, okay, there's supposed to be wholesome cooperation between parties, and that he's welcome to this. At the top of the Nation newspaper, tribunal sacks another Kogi APC senator, and $14 billion deal with Indian businessmen excites president. The main cause for his visits to the G20 was to seek relationships, especially when it comes to the economy of Nigeria.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to this. It's plenty to hope for.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way, especially at a time when Nigeria finds itself fighting for its economic status in the world. NLC directs members to resume work. Please end Fire Guts fans accounts unit, airport basements. Remember, I talked about details. Now, the accounts unit is a very important unit in any establishment, and I'm hoping that they have digital records that are saved someplace. If they do not, then you can imagine the world of trouble that or confusion, let me put it that way, that they could be in. That's as much as we can take inside of the Nation newspaper. Let's see, do we have another paper here we could go into?
Let's see if we can take it.
I'm being informed that we do not have too much time, so unfortunately we can't take another daily. We were going to do the News Direct, which pretty much has the same headlines as most of all the dailies from today that we have taken. Thank you very much, Mike.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for sticking around for the papers. Let's head now inside the kitchen to find out what Titi has for us. Titi, what's going on in there?
I have Chef Nee in the building. Welcome, Chef Nee.
Good morning.
Good morning. And he's, in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen, and he's put together an array of ingredients. What are we making, Chef Nee?
Actually, we're making jollof barbecue. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's an event that happened on Saturday.
Okay.
Kwaba is a tourism event, so
Okay.
I was part of the contestants. And, so I came first runner. So I made this.
Nice.
So I want to show people how to make this.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we have an amazing array of ingredients. Let's talk about them one by one.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Okay, this is my chicken.
Okay.
Chicken drumstick. I've marinated it already.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had my pepper, stock cubes.
Okay.
I had my, what was it called? My ginger and garlic is inside.
Ginger and garlic, yeah, of course.
I have my my nutmeg is inside and some.
What else? What else do we have? So ginger, garlic, nutmeg.
Yes.
There's something else I'm smelling.
Yes, that's my.
Your secret spice, eh?
Yeah.
No wonder. You don't want to tell us. It's okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these vegetables then.
Okay, so this is my tomato for my jollof rice.
Okay.
And my pepper already blended. And this green pepper is for my garnish, and the spring onions too.
Okay,
It's my
fantastic.
garnish. Yeah.
So this is, it looks like a pepper mix of some sort.
And this is ketchup.
Oh, this is ketchup?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Do you make ketchup?
No, I buy.
Oh, you buy. Okay, all right then. But that's a lot of ketchup.
Yeah.
But you said barbecue, so maybe that's the barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. It gives a barbecue taste.
All right, all right. Of course, we have the rice, simple long grain rice here.
Yes, yeah, long grain rice.
What's this then?
There's my curry.
Curry?
Masala curry.
All right.
Yeah.
And then this is a spice.
This is my
Stock.
My stock cubes.
So is it chicken or beef? Chicken stock, beef stock?
Chicken.
Chicken. All right, fantastic. So what's the first thing we're going to do now, Chef Nee?
Yeah, we're going to make our jollof rice sauce.
All right, go ahead, go ahead. What do we do first?
Okay, we pour in our.
Okay, let me put the heat on for you.
Thank you.
Got you here, right here.
No, I think I need to use this.
You want to use, yeah, I wanted to move that forward
thank
for
you.
Okay, yeah, so what I'm saying is, what's the first thing we put into that?
All right, we pour in our vegetable oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vegetable oil straight in.
Yeah. So, but you have to wait for the pot to be.
To heat up a bit.
Heat up, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah,
So after that?
After that, so we had our tomato paste.
So straight in, tomato paste. This is a lot of paste, by the way. How much of this are we using?
I'm not gonna use everything.
Okay, I was just checking, just checking.
Yeah.
Because you seem to like tomatoes a lot too. All right, so we have, that was about a cup of vegetable oil, just 1 cup. I can't see onions here, however. I'm a bit...
my onions is...
already here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going straight in now?
Okay.
Tomato paste?
Yes.
All right,
tomato paste.
go ahead.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
add this.
You said you're not using oil.
No,
That's still a lot. A lot of tomato
Yeah.
paste. Well, it is jollof.
Yeah, it's jollof.
It's
So
jollof.
because we need this to make the stock to be
Yeah.
very thick and to give it a tomato color, red
All
color.
right.
So stir it together. Make sure you fry this tomato paste very well.
Down.
Yeah, you fry it.
All right. It's definitely going to fry down.
Yes.
Is there pepper in this mix that you have here?
Yeah, I have my pepper.
You know, you said it's a secret spice you have.
No,
There's no pepper in there.
No pepper.
Okay, all right. Because I was wondering whether I should run out of the studio, because when that starts to fry...
No. You don't have anything that will scare you off in this.
All right, no problem at all.
Yeah.
So what exactly is going to be happening to the chicken?
Yeah, this chicken, I'm not going to grill it. I'm going to stir fry it.
Stir fried, okay.
Yes,
So we need a pan for that, yeah?
Yes.
Or can we use the deep dish?
No, let's
pot?
use this.
All right, we'll use the pan. All right. So let me put the heat on under the pan for you.
Thank you.
Let me move this out of the way.
Okay, thank you. Easy.
Ooh, my fingers.
Sorry, please.
It's all right. Go ahead. Aha, that's the sound we were waiting for.
Yeah.
So what goes in next?
My pepper.
The pepper. Okay, go ahead with your pepper mix. All right, we have a pepper mix here. So when you made your pepper mix, what sort of things did you mix into that?
Okay, so I have my tomato.
Okay.
I have my bell pepper. I have my red bell pepper too. That's in they call it rodo.
Okay.
So, all the peppers that we use for our regular stew are inside this with onion.
Go ahead and pour it in. Go ahead and pour it in. The quantity, though, I'm always concerned about the quantity of each
Actually,
ingredient.
when you are cooking a jollof rice, you must use a lot of pepper, like a lot of stew. That gives your food good red color.
Fantastic.
Yes, if your jollof rice is not red, you are cooking concussion.
Concussion rice.
Yeah.
All right then, so there's still quite a bit to do, but Chef Nee seems to have it in hand. We'd love to see exactly how you make your special barbecue jollof rice. We will be looking out for your videos. Use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC and show us what you're up to in the kitchen. All right.
Pull a line across.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking charcoal here. So how exactly do you, or maybe I don't have a right idea of how you use charcoal. So maybe you should explain how you use charcoal. Is it smudges, or is it an instrument itself, or is it charcoal as a block of charcoal?
In making a charcoal drawing, like my own drawing, there are different methods you can use. But for me personally, every artist have their own methods that works for them. So for me, basically, I make use of the blending method, whereby I blend my charcoal, and then I apply the charcoal on paper using brushes, soft paint brushes on it.
Oh, okay, okay. So you use brushes.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. So your medium is on paper.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So how long does it take you to come up with these artwork?
Sometimes, like one of Cristiano Ronaldo.
We're going to take a look at those in just a minute.
About 150 hours.
150 hours?
Yes, definitely.
Wow. That's a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Now, if you start one today, do you have maybe I'm going to take a break, 2 days break, come back to it? take me a week or a month to finish, or do you just keep going until you're done with it?
Oh no, like making my own drawing, it depends on the kind of work I have. Like my personal works or personal project, like the one of Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe when I start it in the morning, probably 8 a.m. and then for like 3 to 4 hours, I'll take a break.
Okay.
Rest for a while and then get back to work.
Okay, we're taking a look on the screen now of the one of This Is Mercy, and what you're looking at is not a print. This is something that's handcrafted, charcoal on paper. That's what you're looking at. We have this in the studio here with us, and if only you can actually see the level of definition on these artworks, it is amazing. I mean, there's so many. I can see so many. What do you call them now? Factors here. I see that you also play with light, even while you're drawing.
Definitely, that's right.
The reflections are precise, they're correct, they're natural.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you achieve this? What part of the paper do you think, okay, leave that white, darken that part, use the shade, don't use the shade? I know it comes with experience, but it's just overwhelming. I can't understand how
Okay,
that
I'll start
happens.
with my own kind of like, my own genre of drawing. It's just that it's called apparalism, like I said earlier. And
Apparalism.
art.
Hyper,
and
hyper, yeah,
apparalism is just like a new movement in the arts, like craft generally. I think about maybe 2011 or so. And making this kind of drawing as an artist, you have to at first understand the art of photography. Because how you
Aha.
the photography actually, because there's some people there's a lot of debate on it that this is actually a photograph, it's like a photograph. People they will actually like value it to an extent. Like this is actually not on the norms. Art should be something that should be more of creative thing. So people just be like, okay, this is not an artwork, this is a photograph. So it's, for one to make this kind of drawing, definitely you have to understand the art of photography at first, to play with light and all.
We're taking a look at some more of your. Oh, that's Mr. Funny Man. Sabine is there.
Sabine is right.
Have you gotten reactions from these people that you actually put on paper?
Yeah, definitely. When I posted his work back then, that was last year. I reposted my work on Twitter. It had a lot of engagement, about over maybe like 40,000 likes or 60,000 likes.
That's very interesting.
Twitter.
That's very interesting. Now, how much do you make from these paintings, from these artwork rather?
Okay, this is just like the early stage of
Because
my
I imagine that you make portraits of people. We've seen a couple of them actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if I was to ask you to make a portrait of me, noting that I don't have money, what would it cost me?
Okay, for now, my artwork basically I charge $50. Sometimes
What happened to Naira? Why are you not using Naira again?
if you check my work, if you check my Instagram profile, you definitely see that most of like my Instagram highlights, you would see different states in America. That's where most of my clients are from.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So it seems very wild for a white person asking me price, telling them I charge in Naira like 1,000.
That's very interesting. So you actually have your artwork exported outside of Nigeria.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I do most of the time.
Fantastic. So you make a lot of money then?
This is like the stage of my art. I'm still looking forward to, I'm still trying to gain the exposure, just trying.
You're very humble. Where next from here, if you've got your artwork outside of Nigeria, in other countries, people paying in dollars, what are you expecting? What are we expecting of you in the next coming few years?
Next coming years, okay. For now, people used to charge me for their drawings. They pay me for their drawings, but I'm still a student. I'm a student of Obasanjo University, final year student.
What are you studying?
I'm currently studying English studies.
Say again?
English language.
English?
Yeah.
So this is not something you learned academically. This is just a talent that you've expressed and you put out there.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
So what do you intend to do with English at the end of the day?
Studying English is not one of my home priority actually. I actually wanted to study law, and I couldn't get it at that time. I think I had an issue with my school, sort of internal issue, right, with law and so on. So I had no other choice than to study English. So for me, studying English, I just felt like, okay, what do I want to do with English? Even till now, I still don't really know what I want to do with the course. I just feel like, okay, let me just go on with it and
get a degree.
Get a degree.
Do you think you'd have fared better if you perhaps maybe went into the arts? I mean, studied arts and all its academic definitions?
Studying that, it won't be about the practical aspect of it. Studying arts will just be about like to broaden my knowledge about
exposure. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, that's big. So, are you going to get like an exhibition or something going anytime soon? Because your work needs to be seen on a grand scale. Would you have that in mind?
Okay. To feature in an exhibition or exhibition outside the country, and so as an artist, you have to develop yourself on making personal projects. And most of my personal projects are just like, I'm still trying to like showcase my artworks to the world. People just trying to like pay me for works, and probably when I'm done with my school, then I'll start my own personal project whereby I add meanings to my work. Or I've been doing some of my works, I actually add meanings to it, like messages and everything to it. But for now, I'm still more about taking commissions from people. People commission me for work and
Nice.
they pay me. But after school, I would definitely want to
Focus.
delve into it.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is you delivering some artwork to, I don't know, what's going on here?
Oh yeah, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, from the university, he called me. He's a photographer actually. So he called me that he made a photograph of that woman. She's on a carousel, and she called on me. Okay, Cephas, I want us to work on a project. Like let's just post it online and as well attract people like to celebrate the woman as well. You know, people actually don't. Like I said earlier on, I said I had to start from $50. That's about 50,000 naira. And seeing this kind of people to pay for my hard work was something very difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
I just felt like,
So
okay, let's just make this
extending
woman
that to
happy.
them.
And then even, we actually went there with food and so on and
I can
money
see
and
you
cash.
handing
But
her-
what she actually valued most
Was
was
the
the hard
picture.
work actually. So even she was actually staring at the like, wow, this is really great and so on. And she prayed for us and that was just it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's commendable, I must
you very
say.
much.
That's very nice. Not only thinking about the people who can afford your art, but also the
yeah.
people who may not be
Now
able
people
to.
as well, like people.
And to see that they actually appreciate it
Yeah,
is,
definitely.
I mean, that's joy.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm going to make you do one for me because I've got a beautiful wife that I think I need to immortalize.
Wow, yeah, that's what people do most of the time.
But it's not $50 I'm paying. I'm going to pay
Yeah, I'll probably charge you
Naira.
$100.
Listen, Cephas, it's been great, Peter Olufunde.
Yeah.
It's been great having you here on the show to
pleasure
express
as well.
your art and everything.
Yeah.
We hope and wish for nothing but the best for you,
Amen.
and more sales, more artwork.
Amen,
Please
amen.
do invite us when it comes to that exhibition, whenever it is. We'd love to be there,
Yeah.
just so we can also capture that as well.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you very much. And thank you very much for also being here to see Olufunde's fantastic artwork. We'll hope that we bring him in more so that we can see more of the stuff that he's done. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of the kitchen. By the way, I can hear that things are going clackety-clack and clink, clink, clink. Titi, what is exactly happening there?
Jollof rice is happening
Yeah.
with Chef Nee.
Yes.
Tasonson.
Yes, that's also.
Tasonson catering.
Yeah.
I've never been able to pronounce it perfectly, but
Okay.
what does it mean to Tasonson?
Okay, that also means an aroma, a very soothing aroma. Like when you hear something, you want to
Yeah.
taste.
So you're hearing the taste.
You know, when you smell the taste, rather, you don't hear.
You're smelling the
When
taste.
you smell the taste, like you want to, you know,
Yoruba
you want
language
to,
is
yes,
so
you want to
interesting.
put that
Yeah.
food in your mouth.
Okay, all right. Speaking of food, this chicken, we need to deal with this chicken now. What
Yes.
happens with this
Okay,
right
so
now?
we are stir frying this chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have some oil already really hot.
yes.
I feel like turning that oil off a bit.
Yes.
Okay, so it's just going straight in. For those that weren't here when we marinated the chicken, what was it you put?
Okay, so
in the chicken?
I once again I put pepper.
Go ahead.
Put
Go ahead.
my
Woo! Let's go. Don't worry. Go ahead.
okay. So I had my pepper. I had my curry, my ginger and garlic
Okay.
is mixed, and you know I've leaved it it was I done this very yesterday, like,
Okay. So
and it's refrigerated.
so it's been like overnight, 12 hours,
Yeah. So,
marinated with
yeah,
all those ingredients.
Yeah. So you can have that taste when you bite.
All right. Sure. So this is cut lollipop style.
Yeah, drumstick.
Ooh, looking good. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that this is like supposed to be barbecue, but we're frying it.
Yeah, that's the confuse there. When you are eating it,
Yeah.
apart from seeing it, when you are eating it, you'll be so confused that. But this chicken is not.
It's not what.
But you are eating barbecue. I want to tell you.
Okay. All right. No wahala. No wahala.
I'm telling you, it's barbecue.
All
So if you don't want to go through that stress of charcoal and everything like that, so you just get my recipe, you know. Yeah. Then you can fry.
All right.
Yes.
So,
You'll be having a barbecue taste.
so at this point, I'm still seeing quite a few ingredients here. And the rice itself, we need to also start cooking that.
Yes.
That doesn't take too long, I hope.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Yeah.
All right. So the sauce, let's talk about this sauce. You added some things to the sauce.
Yes.
Yes?
So I've added my curry,
Okay.
my mixed spice, my stock cube,
Okay.
my ketchup is inside already
All right.
frying.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
fantastic. So that's ready to go.
Yes,
So
it's
all we
ready.
need to do now is parboil the rice.
Yes.
And then that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do we need a bowl to catch that chicken? Let me get a bowl for you.
Thank you.
I think we're ready. Those drumsticks are looking very all right. What we're making here today is barbecue jollof rice.
Yeah.
A la Chef Nee. And Chef Nee is from Tassoson.
Yes, I'm from Tassoson. Proudly Tassoson, yeah.
All right. So I am really looking at those ingredients now because I'm wondering what I have in the house presently. So if you have rice, chicken, fresh tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, ketchup, special spice. Your own special spice is fine. Some, spring onions, stock cubes, green, yellow peppers, garlic, ginger, vegetable oil. If you have any of those lying around the house, you can make this today yourself. And we would love to see what it looks like when you start. Just use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC and show us exactly how it's going at your end. Trust me, it is Tassoson in here. Yeah, so the show on Thursday is a work of art.
Always.
We always put so many different things together and somehow it looks beautiful.
Absolutely. Welcome, second hour here. If you didn't catch the first hour, we've got another hour for you. But what were you thinking? Come on, wake up a bit more earlier. Wake up earlier next time to catch us at 7 a.m. But it's all good. Start of the 8 o'clock hour here. We're going to bring you everything that you could have perhaps maybe missed if you didn't tune in. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilaya Oyinson. We encourage you to watch us live no matter where you are going in the next 1 hour. Just use our website, that's tvcentertainment.tv, or of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah, GOTV 16 UHF 49 is where you can see us live. And of course, you want to follow us on our social media platforms at TVC Connect. It's that simple. Now, for
All right. While we're in the studio here, we never really know what's going on outside.
Nope, because we're in a capsule of time capsule of sorts.
We know how everything smells in here, but does it smell like rain?
Titi.
We'll find out.
Titi.
Wonderful way to kickstart your Thursday morning. Well, it's time to talk something quite important. Normally, we don't normally do this on Thursdays, but it's a special one because this month is World Physiotherapy Month. Tomorrow is the World Physiotherapy Day. So we have a guest in the house with us today, Dr. Faith Duncan Shotunde, an internationally recognized award-winning board-licensed women and pelvic floor physiotherapist with 13 plus years of clinical experience. Now, our discussion today is, we're talking about World Physiotherapy Day and, of course, the theme of this year, which is on arthritis. Yeah. It is great to have you. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. All right. Now, this is something that almost everybody at one point or the other would have to, come in contact with arthritis and pains in the joints and all of that. But before we go into all of that, first of all, what is the World Physiotherapy Day and Month all about?
Okay, so the World Physiotherapy Day, it's a day for physiotherapists all over the world, to celebrate the profession, show how much of impact and role they have in the community, to take care of, everyone who has one thing or the other to do with their health.
Okay.
Yeah, and to project the visibility of the profession.
Oh, wonderful.
Because, a number of people don't even know about physiotherapy.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true in terms. But now this year, the theme is arthritis. Yeah, let's talk about it. Something, what exactly is arthritis?
Okay, arthritis, it could be an acute situation. That means, maybe it just happened today or it happened under 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it could be a long-standing stuff. We call it chronic arthritis. It's like an inflammation of any joints of the body. It could be the neck, it could be the spine, it could be the knee, it could be the wrist, it could be the joints in the wrist or the fingers as well. So it's an inflammation of any joint of the body.
So that means there has to be visible swelling, as it were?
For some
When you
people,
say
yes.
inflammation?
For some people, you see
so
visible swelling.
Okay.
For some people, it may just be pain.
Okay.
And for some people, you may have the pain, you may have the swelling, and then you also have the stiffness. But in the people who are light-skinned, you could also see some redness of that joint. Yes.
Okay.
So very commonly with the adults, you would see when the very common ones are people who complain of the knee pain, the knee arthritis, and you see the swelling. For the fair-skinned one, you see that even with the swelling, there's a patch of redness somewhere.
What causes arthritis?
Arthritis particularly could be caused by long-term injuries. At the same time, it could also be caused by an interaction or a fight of the immune system of the body against the joints. That is where we are focusing on this year.
Okay.
Inflammatory arthritis, which could be rheumatoid arthritis, it could be axial spondyloarthritis. So for rheumatoid arthritis now, the immune system is fighting the body of the individual and then causing inflammation. Sometimes we don't even know why this is happening, right? And it can even happen in children. So it's not even just the adults who is having to suffer this issue, right? So when the inflammation, when the immune system is fighting the body, there's an inflammation. That inflammation keeps on going. There is pain. It could be warm to touch. You know, there's that swelling. Sometimes they find it difficult to move around, especially when they wake up in the morning. It could even be in the night. Depends on the person and depends on the environment where that person is. The symptoms vary per season, per day, per individual.
Per individual.
Yeah.
Is there a cure for it?
Is there a cure for rheumatoid arthritis? There isn't a cure for rheumatoid arthritis, but we manage the symptoms.
Okay.
Yes, we manage the things. We want to prevent you from having regular inflammation.
So are you saying that when you manage the symptoms, there will never be a case where the symptoms entirely leave the body? Go.
No, because rheumatoid arthritis, like I said, is the immune system fighting the person's body. For rheumatoid arthritis particularly. Okay, so other forms of arthritis, the osteoarthritis, yes, you can prevent it.
But can it be cured in its entirety?
It depends on the degree of the injury. If you come in early for treatment, yes, we can cure you of your symptoms, we can cure you of the disease itself. But if you wait to the end stage when the joints are now so affected, damaged, the supporting structures are damaged, you now have to go for a surgery to do a replacement, probably a knee replacement.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yes.
Is that this surgery, it's corrective in some ways, isn't it curative?
Oh yes, it's curative and corrective, yes, but that means that you now have a foreign body in your body.
That will pose its own
challenge. Yeah, you can cure it when it comes to osteoarthritis. Yeah, it's curable. It's curable, but then you have to wait. Do you want to have some implants in you? Do you want to wait till that point where you have to go for the corrective surgery? Why not, start to prevent? What can you do to prevent yourself?
That's the question. Let's go there.
Okay.
Preventive measures.
Yeah, so preventive measures. Now, we all know that the lifestyle that we are living now doesn't even encourage people to move around so well. We have digitized everything. Everybody wants to have a car. Everybody is on their phone or on their laptop. So when you put so much stress and pressure on the joints over time, repeatedly, you're giving so much work to that joint to do, it starts to wear out. So what we advise as physiotherapists is increase your physical activity level. If you're in a place where there's a staircase, instead of taking the lift, take the staircase. If you don't necessarily have to drive, you want to go to the supermarket down your street, you can take a walk, don't drive. Yeah. If you're working on if you're someone who is a clerical officer and you're in the office, all you have to do a lot of time is you sit. You can take some time in between work to stand up, do some easy exercises, deep squats while you're there. You could be on your system and then you're tiptoeing, you're standing on your toes, up and down, just to ensure that your joints are moving and you're not stationed in one place.
Exactly.
That's an aspect of it. The other aspect of it is what posture do you assume? What posture do you assume in everything that you do? Yes, it's very important that you have the right posture for every time you're doing one thing or the other. So whether you're sitting, are you sitting properly?
One major problem is this.
All right.
I can see there are like 3 people now holding their phones. You see this one?
Exactly.
You know, I think about it. When I do it myself, I don't bother. When I look at people also do it and I see how much time we spend like this,
Absolutely.
it really does become a problem. How, I don't know, what can be done about that? We have to use our phones, but because of that posture we maintain, where our spine, you know, there's some form of spine that's bent over and all of that, how do we negate the effects of it, as it were, you know? Maybe, you know, what can we do?
Okay, so I would advise that you are intentional about what you do. You already know that if you're going to be on your phone and you're going to have to bend your head forward, it's going to cause an eventual damage, right? So you want to reduce the number of hours you spend on your phone. Can you shift what you're doing on the phone to the laptop or a desktop? So when you shift focus, instead of you being like this, if you're having your laptop on a desk, you can actually have it at your eye level gaze, right? It's at eye level, and then you're looking at it straight up, and you're moving from one point to the other.
Because it's going to be very, very it's not so natural to, you know.
Yeah, it's not, because we're not used to it. It's not so natural to do. But you can actually.
You can do it.
Yeah,
for
you
a
can.
while, yeah, you can.
If the truth is, if you're properly seated, which when you're properly seated, you need to sit with your sit bones. If you put your hand under your buttock, you feel some two hard bones underneath your buttock. So if you're sitting on those sit bones, there's no way you can sit slouched. You will sit upright. Now, when you sit upright, it's more convenient for you to actually just do this.
Okay.
Quickly do this.
Okay.
But when you're sitting slouched, you can be like this, you can be like this. It's easier for you that way. And you'll be there for hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, when it's not convenient for you, when you sit upright, it will tell you and remind you that, oh, I need to shut off time from this thing. Can I find other ways of doing what I'm doing better without necessarily using the phone?
You know, our
Yes.
lives have just become so, like you said, so digital and so connected, from finances to learning. So even somebody will even say, I'm taking courses, I'm doing it on my phone, I'm gaining knowledge on my phone, I'm relaxing on my phone, I'm talking to my family on my phone. So, you know, everything is all about that. But like you said, being intentional about it and understanding and all of that. And then where you come in and all of that, because like you said, a number of people don't know about physiotherapists and all of that. So a number of times you might have some kind of pain and you self-diagnose. How harmful can that be when you self-diagnose when it comes to issues concerning physiotherapy?
Okay, self-diagnosing is not safe at all anyways. It's always right that you go to the experts, go to see who knows about it, and let them put you through. Now, what self-diagnosing can cause is this. For instance, let me go back to rheumatoid arthritis. Because rheumatoid arthritis causes inflammation, always and always. Now, that inflammation causes damage to the blood vessels. And when there's damage to the blood vessels, there are buildup of plaques, which causes, you know, the blood vessels are like pipes. It causes a narrowing of that pipe that carries blood to the heart, carries blood to the brain. Now, if you've been self-diagnosing, you just feel, okay, I have this slight pain, or there was this swelling, it came on yesterday, it disappeared 2 days after. It's been happening for like 3-6
Just
months.
cold water, ice block.
No, it's not even cold water they would use. You know, our culture is to use hot water. Yes. So they will use hot water. And when you're feeling, the more pain that you feel, they'll tell you it's working, it's working. Now, what will happen? No pain, no gain, right? That's what people always say. Exactly. So what happens to that kind of person over time is that person stands at a higher risk of having cerebrovascular disease, which can eventually lead to stroke.
Wow, and that's talking about the brain. When you hear this,
talking about the brain damage, can eventually lead to heart disease. So you don't know because you are not educated in that line. But if you go to the experts, you come to the physiotherapist, you see your doctors, they tell you, okay, this is what's wrong with you. This is what you should start doing. It may seem like a regular swelling, but it's not a regular swelling.
Doctor, we have to go now. I just want to rush this. Is there any occasion to mark this where someone can do checks or something? Are you guys?
Oh, absolutely. So every September 8th, all over the world, I mean, let's say you don't even have money.
Okay.
Every September 8th, physiotherapists always dish out free services.
Doctor, please, your
so
number.
You just want
to... Tomorrow, September 8th. Doctor, I will get your contact. I'm coming to you. I'm having my free physiotherapy session, right?
That's fine. We'll see what's free on our table
wonderful.
for you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a very good time being here with you.
Thank you. All right, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting. For a minute there, I wish I could just go on and start hammering that guy because it's like the things I want to get off, but it's only an actor. It's only an actor.
Exactly.
And we have him here with us today. Sunny Baba is here in the studio with us. He's a seasoned filmmaker and also professional actor with several series and movies to his title. Now, he shall be, well, telling us about his time in Nollywood, and we're going to be gaining such knowledge from him. You are welcome, sir. Good to have you here.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be
Finally,
here.
in person.
All right.
You do look like the politician in that, was it?
Really?
You even dressed the part as well. I don't know if I can dig at you, you know, some of the things that are happening in Nigeria. Now, people are not trying. But that just goes to show how you embody such characters and how we can't tell the difference when we see these movies. Good to have you here in person, sir.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
It's a pleasure being here.
It feels like maybe you are able to pick specific roles that fit you. Have you been able to do that over time?
Oh, well, I can pick any road, though.
Okay.
And then,
What's
like,
the most challenging you've had?
talking about the most challenging, I don't think I have quite a big challenge,
Okay.
even in my acting role. But basically, I think one of the challenging experience I had was when I started the industry. And,
When did you start?
and that was 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was mixing it with business.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has to be like you have to take the script, you know, you have to get your word to words.
Word for word.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was one of it. But at the point, I was able to overcome that.
We've also heard that in Nigerian movies that most people don't actually go with the script word for word, that some people just go off the script and they're allowed to do so. There are examples of people like Sam Lokoefe and who else? What's his name?
I don't know.
A number of them who go off script. Is there any allowance for that inside of Nollywood? Is it a regular practice? Is it okay, or is it something that's frowned upon?
Well, as a matter of fact, acting is just interpretations of the story. If your acting role at that point interpret the story and the director allow that, then it's good to go. As long as it gives the story of what you're trying to interpret.
Okay.
I love the fact that you're on a set like Brethren, and it feels like it's, an all-encompassing production. There's crew members involved in every single aspect. I know that you're on screen here, but I know that there was a conversation we were having a little earlier on about how the crew and team are sort of treated on sets these
Generally.
days.
Thank you so much. That is actually a very major challenge. I would cap it as set discrimination.
That's discrimination.
Yeah, because there's a kind of discrimination between sometimes the lead actors and then the background actor.
Okay.
Of course, you may take a role of a king in an acting, but that does not mean that the palace guards are useless. Because the story cannot be complete
Without them.
without the guards.
Okay. Okay.
So whereby you have a background actor, as an upcoming actor, you should be able to treat them nicely. And sometimes you find out that some background actors will finish doing work and they will be begging for their payments.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely, it's not right. So that is a very, very major challenge. Sometimes it's very easy to point accusing fingers to the government of not doing one or two things that's, doing it right. But in our own little environment, let us get things right.
Is this something that happens often inside of Nollywood? Is it a general problem that happens that sets discrimination?
Oh, well, in some production, not all, in fairness, not all. So that is why I'm just like, so if things is coming around part and coming...
Actual examples. Is it, a place to sit? Is there a special VIP room? Or what are we talking about now? When you say treatment, well, let's talk about specifics.
Okay, it ranges from different angles. From the angles of paying the cast
actors,
at the right time, you're supposed to pay them.
Okay.
That is number one. Number two, maybe, an actor come and then he closed very late.
Okay.
And you're able to get a hotel room for the lead actor.
Okay. But not
and then the background actor, even at midnight, you say, you can go.
You can go.
Wow. Wow.
And anything can happen on the road. So it's not safe.
Isn't it something that the body, the Actors Guild, for instance, is supposed to have taken charge of, supposed to have attended to from years from before? I mean, we have Nollywood, we've had Nollywood for, Nollywood is going well on, what, 35 years, holding strong in Nigeria. So I think that we have apparatus in place that actually makes sure that these kinds of instances are taken care of. People's rights are not infringed. You have a place you can report to just in case you're not treated nicely. Like we have the example of the, what's it called now, the actors in America, where they had a specific place they could go to report, and specific actions that were taken. They went on strike and all of this. And I think they're still in the middle of all of that. Isn't there no such apparatus in Nigeria?
Oh, yeah, there are. There is. And like I said, it's not 100% of the cases, though.
Okay.
But in the few cases that happened, sometimes, like recently, some elder says we will create an elder forums where if there is any report, come to the elders forum and then tender the reports so that they'll be able to deal with it. I think that also start controlling some things, some aspect of the challenge.
I actually remember a personal experience. Now this was I think I was 19, 20 years old at the time.
That's just yesterday.
And yeah, like last week. But I remember being on set, and it was for an epic. And we had to go all the way to Ekpe. Now, Ekpe when I was 19 is not the Ekpe of today that actually has traffic lights and paved roads. Yeah. I'm talking about Ekpe, like red mud huts and everything. And we were actually made to sit outside in the sun for going on 6 to 7 hours.
Wow, that's a long time.
Soldier ants, sand flies, one meal. That's, it was just one meal. Hardly any water. And by the time we were done, they were like, okay, back to Lagos.
Bye-bye.
At that time of the night.
Wow.
We hadn't had shelter all day. And there was nobody who could report to. But the thing is, I just thank God I had options. I didn't go back to the set the next day. That was day one. They called me tired. In the end, they had to replace me.
Oh, wow.
I said I wasn't going
back.
back.
Do that again.
No, I wasn't going back. But that was because I had a choice. But there are a lot of actors that don't have a choice.
Exactly. Do you know that some of them, even because of closing very late, end up losing their phones
on the road
to
help them? Because at that late hours, anybody can attack, and that happens. So.
Well, Mr. Sonny, let's now bring it back to modern acting and modern actors. And I say modern actors for specific, very deliberately. We find that most modern actors are people who carry a lot of numbers behind them, and I mean social media numbers. Now, as a veteran, taking a look at what acting was from before, coming from where you are, and then meeting these new actors who have simply just made it from social media onto the acting set, do you find that there is a disconnect from what real acting is to what acting for numbers might be? Let me just ask the question straight up. Do you think skit makers are actors? Boom.
Yes, as long as it interprets a story, it entertains the people, it gives information to people, it is acting.
But don't you think that somewhere we're compromising, where we're taking people to be in movies just because of their numbers and their following, and that they will come and see these movies, as against when you take real actors who have studied the art, who are veterans, who can actually interpret better? Aren't we compromising anyway?
Oh, yeah, I think I get your question very correctly. Yes, you know, in a society, there's kind of, when you are recognized for something, people do not really get to know much about the storyline. They don't care to know about the information.
Yeah, this is good.
They just like adore you just the way you are.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think that narrative is like a general syndrome. But then, at the same time, you still find out that a lot of them are doing a very good job.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely.
They're doing a very good job.
And as we round up on that, we're going to be seeing a few clips of you now. But you know, I feel like some of those skit makers are probably getting the VIP treatment now, as opposed to actors who studied theater, but they're still B-class actors.
Let's actually check this skit out. It actually is a skit. And then by the time we get back, we'll have Sonny Baba inside of the kitchen where we have...
Okay. Cool. Now something smells good in the kitchen. Wow, Chef Nee, we made it.
Yes,
We did it. This.
Why does it smell like firewood? I can actually smell.
You can smell it, right?
Yeah,
That
it
burnt
has-
Is
flavor.
that fire? Yeah, that burnt. Yeah, that's intentional.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it is because you can. It feels like it was outside and.
Yeah,
You know,
this.
the barbecue, you see
Yeah, exactly.
smoke and
That's
But
nice.
really, Chef Nee, nice work. I love the lollipop drumstick there. It's barbecue
It'll
flavored.
be missing in a minute.
Yeah, but we need you to taste it, sir. Welcome. Have a taste.
It is hot. I must warn
Very
you.
hot. Please
So
blow it
please
if
be
you-
careful.
Ooh, I used to hot food, chow.
You can try the drumstick as well too.
All right, now that's a real smile right there.
We have made it to the end of Thursday edition here. Thank you very much, Chef Nee. Fantastic, lovely presentation. I can't wait to get those drumsticks missing. And of course, we still have our.
Play the drum.
Yeah, Mike, do that thing you always do.
There we go.
I'll tell you guys what, tomorrow's edition will be the last for the week, and we always look forward to the Friday edition because it's always very, very fun. So you want to join us at 7 a.m. What's going on?
We are going to be back, of course, at 7 a.m. We'll have another chef. We'll have other great guests. And we'll have a special show put together just for you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.